All right, welcome back to 10 with Jen. I'm Jen O'Sullivan, board certified naturopathic practitioner, best-selling author, and someone who has spent the past 2 decades helping people rethink what they believe about health. Okay, so my mission is simple: to help you rethink wellness by getting back to the way God designed the body, the mind, and spirit to function. So grab your glass of water, take a sip, take a deep breath, and let's spend the next 10 minutes together. All right, so this week we've been talking about building a healthier body, one simple truth at a time, right? On Monday, we talked about the power of our words through conscious language. Yesterday, on Truth Tuesday, we challenged the myth that metabolism simply slows down because of age. Today, we're tackling an often misunderstood word in the health world, inflammation. Okay, so you hear it everywhere. This food causes inflammation. That supplement reduces inflammation. I have inflammation, right? It's almost as if inflammation itself has become the enemy. And here's the truth, right? Inflammation is not your enemy. In fact, it's one of God's greatest protective designs. So I want you to think of inflammation like your home's fire alarm. If smoke fills the kitchen because something is burning on the stove, you want the alarm to go off. It gets your attention. It tells you something needs to be addressed. Or think of the fire department, right? If your house catches fire, you want the trucks to come. You want the lights to flash. You want the firefighters there. The problem isn't the fire department. The problem is when your emergency never ends. And healthy inflammation should be temporary. It's your body's normal response to things like injury, infection, and other challenges, like if you cut your finger or you sprain your ankle or you catch a virus, right? Your immune system immediately begins coordinating thousands of cells to protect you and to then begin the healing process. That's inflammation doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now, imagine if the fire department was there, right? And it left the hoses running for 6 months after the fire was out, right? Eventually, that water is creating more damage than the original fire itself. And that's the picture of chronic inflammation. And it's not like, we don't think of this as inflammation being bad, but it's more about because the body never gets the signal that the emergency has ended. So there's like a signal crossing there. And today, many people, maybe you, right, are living with the constant signals that keep pulling that fire alarm. Like maybe you have poor sleep. Maybe you have chronic stress. Maybe you live off of highly processed foods. Maybe you're eating way too much sugar or smoking or having too much alcohol. Maybe you just don't do a lot. It's just physical inactivity or possibly environmental toxins. You could also be carrying way too much body fat, right? Even unresolved emotional stress can influence your body's normal inflammatory pathways. And so this is why you can have two different people and they eat exactly the same meal, but they have very different outcomes. Okay. And that's because your lifestyle. So one of the misconceptions that is pretty profound in our world is that inflammation always hurts. That's another problem because that's not true. Sometimes it does, but other times, and you may not know this, but other times it shows up as fatigue. Inflammation in your body that's chronic can show up as brain fog or joint stiffness or digestive issues, maybe slower recovery on things, or maybe it shows up in you just simply feeling older than you actually are, and many factors can contribute to those symptoms. But like, you think chronic inflammation is an area that researchers are continuing to study because it actually has this major association with many long-term health conditions, right? And so we don't really want to get into the situation where we're trying to eliminate inflammation. It's super necessary, right? It's why when I gave birth to Jacob, I was like, no, nothing. I don't want any painkillers or numbing agents or anything, because I knew that if I did that, I would heal faster. And I did, because your body signals that something is wrong and your body sends cells to heal you, okay? We want to help your body return to balance after the job is done. So that's why we're trying to kind of figure out what's the best way to help our body get back into balance. It's why I frequently recommend using like X39 and Eon together. And here's why. I want you to imagine rebuilding a neighborhood after a major storm. If those emergency crews are still responding to fires and floods and downed power lines, and they're still there, it's actually really difficult for the construction crews to come in and begin to rebuild. And our bodies are similar in that way, right? When the body is experiencing excessive inflammatory signaling, many of its resources are focused on responding to that environment. Supporting your healthy inflammatory response, actually, so if you can support that, it actually can help create conditions that are far more favorable, right? Like for your body's normal repair and renewal processes. So it's why I pair those two together. The Eon patch is designed to support your body's healthy inflammatory response, but it's also to help your body respond to everyday physical and mental stress. The X39 patch is designed to elevate your body's own GHKCU, right? This is a naturally occurring copper peptide. You should all know this by now, right? That declines as we age. It's been studied for its role in supporting normal tissue renewal and healthy cellular function. Okay, so putting those two together is really, really supportive of your body. And also, people find that beginning with a healthier internal environment allows them to better support their body's natural renewal process, right? I also believe that bioenergetic therapy can complement this approach. And modalities used in bioenergetic therapy, you can look that up on ChatGPT or whatever you use, they're designed to support healthy cellular function, circulation, mitochondrial activity. And since the mitochondria, and we've talked about this many times now on the show, since the mitochondria are those tiny little energy producing structures inside nearly every single cell, we have to remember that supporting their function helps support the body as a whole. So think of it this way. The Eon patch helps support the environment. X39 is below my belly. You can't see it in my navel. X39 helps support your body's natural renewal process through that increase of GHKCU. And then bioenergetic therapies, right? There's all sorts of different devices, help support the energy and the pathways that your cells use every day. So it's like clearing the road, clearing the debris so that these things can actually work for you. And none of these things replace foundations of health. They're designed to work alongside of them. Real food, movement, breathing well, deep oxygen, right? Strength training, sleeping well, stress management, hydration. Take another sip of your water. When you consistently give your body what it needs, you're working with the incredible design that God built into your own human body, right? Okay, so today's reset is simple. Ask yourself this question: what keeps pulling my body's fire alarm? And choose one thing to improve this week. Maybe you need to just say, I'm going to go to bed 30 minutes earlier every night. Maybe it's replacing one processed food with real food, or maybe it's stopping going to like a fast food restaurant that you love. Just like, we're off that for a while. Okay. Maybe it's taking a 10-minute walk after dinner. And again, we've talked about a lot of these things. It's like, I'm trying to encourage you to live a healthier lifestyle. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes practicing that diaphragmatic breathing that we did, and that's going to help activate your parasympathetic nervous system. There's so many different things you could do. Maybe you even vow to be more consistent with your therapies, right? Your patches, your devices, more consistently. And remember, this is that compound effect in the positive. Small, consistent changes often will produce the biggest results over time. And here's the thing for the day to remember: your body is not working against you. Most of the time, it is working incredibly hard to protect you. Okay? Your body is not working against you. It's working so hard. It's working incredibly hard to protect you. And when we remove those things that can constantly keep the fire alarm ringing, we remove that and we give our bodies the tools that they were designed to use, we create this really great environment where wellness can actually thrive. All right. So if today's episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who could use a little hope. We got Thrive Thursday coming up tomorrow. It's going to be about an honest conversation that's a little difficult. Okay. It's going to be about depression. Is this simply a chemical imbalance, or could there be much more to the story? We're going to explore hope, biology, lifestyle, and why your brain is far more adaptable than many people realize. So I hope that you'll join me. Again, I'm Jenna Sullivan, reminding you that your body was designed by God, right? Your body was fearfully and wonderfully made. And when we work with it instead of against it, amazing things can happen. All right, thanks for joining me on 10 with Jen. Until tomorrow, take care and be blessed.